Hello, how are you doing, everybody? I love your stream opening, you do a good job. Oh, thanks! Yeah, I figured it'd be nice to have something interesting to look at, and considering the purpose of the streams, it seemed like a pretty good idea. I know there's a Twitter account that does nothing but show GIFs of, yes, I said GIFs with a hard G. GIFs of AGI and SCI pictures being drawn, so I'm like, I could do the same thing, but with my screens that I drew. Well, a lot of these I drew. Some of them I didn't. Some of them are Sierra. The ones that I'm using, but yeah. Ready for some objects? 0. Heck yeah. Bring on Sir Graham. Alright, here we go. What happened to... There it is. I don't know what happened there, sorry. Okay. We were doing water reflecting. Off stream, I did a little extra work on the priorities here, as you can see, to try to get something going, and it mostly works. Let me show you a little bit of it. So, it sort of works if I walk in front of the rock here. The reflection is also in front of the reflected rock. If I walk behind it, you can now see the reflected rock is now in front of the reflected me. Ditto for this little island with the tree. This tree, sort of, it's a little gimpy, but this tree, still some fixing I need to do, but, and also this tree. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 objects. The only thing I need to do now is make sure he's not showing up on the ground, which is, not gonna lie, it's gonna be still a little bit tricky. I might have to like just have the scene switch like right here or something, because his feet are sticking up there. Work for Sierra if they were still around. I'm sure the people they had for that work would be way better than what I'm doing. But I realized I didn't really have to get too creative with the priority screens, because so every sprite or prop or actor on the screen has an origin point. Happy Revenge of the 6th, yes. Revenge of the 6th, it is the 6th, 2 days after Star Wars Day. My phone's going off. It is nothing important. Lurk away. And so every object has an origin point, which means that is the point. For Graham, it's right in between his feet on the ground, and that is where the boundaries, his boundaries will be. When he runs up against something, it'll meet that origin point, which is a single pixel, and stop. That's how he can't walk through the rocks here, and the trees and so on. The reflected animation's origin point is up here at the top where his feet are, because its reflection's upside down, obviously. So I can use the same priorities on the screen for the reflections as you can see here. For the reflection of the rock, I made it blue, just like the actual rock. because the origin point is so high, it won't go down past that priority line where the blue is, so he'll still be blocked by the blue. So I can keep the same priorities for everything on the screen, which makes it so much easier. I thought I was going to have to do like different colors and stuff, but... So my only issue now is I gotta change the priority color of this ground so that he doesn't show up on the ground. So I gotta see, I was trying to figure out here, this reflection of the land here would also be in front of the reflection, but he kind of pops in front of it there, so that's some fixing I gotta do. So that's what we're gonna do today. But what I need to do to ask you for some custom Twitch stream things like you have for when I play King's Quest, like starting. Be right back, thanks. Stuff like the drawing animation? Well, what I did was SCI Companion, there's a recent build of it by a guy who goes by the name of Kawa. He's on the SCI programming forums. In his signature on the forums, he has a link to his SCI stash. He has his own builds of SCI Companion there, his own compilations. He added a function to the picture editor, I'll show it to you, where you can export it as a, you go to pick here, export as animated GIF, there you go, and then you just add that to OBS. I made a collection of them and combine them into an MP4 video by just stitching them together, so that it'll play them all back to back at once. But that's basically it. And the cool chat box that took a little while to make. I'm not really in the business of creating peripherals like this, but this actually took me a while to make this King's Quest V style chat box here. And the camera window and everything. But it actually took me like a whole weekend, I think. It took a long time. Yeah, I don't really have time to do that for people though. Sorry. And the cool chat box. Yeah, it is a cool chat box. I went all out on this. I redrew the font from King's Quest V from scratch and made a font based on it, a pixel font, not a vector font, which I then converted to vector and then converted to base 64 and added that, and after that I aspect corrected the text so it looks like camera's a little high, so it looks like it's actually on a 4:3 ratio corrected computer monitor, and otherwise it would be just squished a little. You're not going to notice it, but I notice it. And converted it to base 64 and put it in the CSS settings of Streamlabs to use this particular font instead of the default one. So it took me a long time and it's quite involved, but you know, it just takes some. Oh, I wonder if this will work. Well, now I wonder if this will work. I wonder if this, and then you just keep going. It's much like this game. I wonder if I can do this, and I just do it. And before I know it, there's like tons of stuff done. That's basically all it is. Great work if I say so. Well, thank you. Alright, so Graham's reflection here, if I change this to enter resource number, let's go with this. Okay, so the priority, this can't be purple, obviously. Color it should be, because when he's down here, he's going to be colored blue and then green. So it should be cyan. But then, if it's cyan, it's only going to be in front to here. I could set it so that after a certain Y coordinate, it's no longer being drawn. And I'll probably make it cyan then. But I can't make it cyan because then it's gonna block the main ego as well. Or no. Yeah, it will. I'm thinking I gotta do with this. I could go back to the old route of making the reflected priority color one less than the ego's priority color. No, I could do cyan. Let's do cyan. Gotta go back here, go to the history brush. This is where it fills in that. It's no longer going to be purple. None of this is going to be purple. Island is going to be purple. Not the shoreline or the shade. Yeah, so let's make it cyan. No, that's not gonna work. It's gonna block the ego. Howdy, hello Slot Studio, nice to see you. I am working on programming the reflected gram sprite in water, and it's almost done. It's pretty good. It's just figuring out. Well, I've got it walking behind reflected objects and in front of reflected objects, like this here island, some of the trees and this rock, but it's still showing on the ground, which is a no-no. So I figured I could use the priority colors to block the entire ground, but then it would also block the ego. Do it in bands. Because the origin point is different, the coordinates are the same, so Graham will only be drawn behind something if he's above the coordinate point, but his origin point is at the bottom anyway. So I'm thinking I might be able to get away with it. I have to experiment, I have to practice. Little Lee Jackson from the previous track's inspiration, he just released a new set of minis for Doom. I saw that. There's a group project going on to create a complete MIDI replacement pack for Doom, and he contributed 2 tracks, which is awesome. Lee Jackson, if nobody knows, did the music for did a lot of the music for Duke Nukem 3D. He did all the music for Shadow Warrior and Rise of the Triad, and probably a few others. Is this reflection triggered by ego being on a control color? No, that's a better way of doing it. I was gonna cancel it out at a certain Y coordinate, but right now it's just copying his X, his Y, his priority, his cell, and his loop, and based on if he's standing or not, chooses which standing or walking chooses which reflective view to use, standing or walking. And I'm gonna have to use multiple ones for when he's swimming. Right now I'm just using walking ones, but when he's swimming they'll have to be reflections of those animations. But control colors, yes. So I already have the control colors here. I could say if ego is on black, no, that won't work, because he'll be walking on the black up here, and he'll still need to be reflected in the water. Still, it might be onto something. I could make a different control color that's not reacted to anything above the water line. And when it gets below, stop drawing the ego reflection. But he's still gonna have to have some. Yeah, okay, let's go back here. We just gotta do something and try it. For instance, Cyan's not going to work up here because Eagle's walking up here. You could add a third control that would trigger above the water. Yeah. Or if I do it any color that the script doesn't look for, and then just script in if Ego is on black, or if Ego's not on a black control color, then stop drawing the reflection. But it still doesn't help me for the bottom of the screen, because he's going to be walking right to the shoreline, right? And have a reflection even here, or even here. So the reflection comes straight down onto the ground here. So it needs to have a priority to cover it here. Which, maybe if I just color in these bands, that way Ego will never be drawn behind them, but the reflection will, because Ego will always be above them until it hits them, and then it'll be the same color as it, right? But the reflection will be under it entirely. So just color at each band. Or just, no, it should just be cyan. I'm gonna try just cyan for now and see what happens. So, if we go back here, that's a history tool, by the way. If I click on anywhere on the screen, it'll take me to the point in the draw command timeline where that command was drawn. So that flood fill is right there. Take me right before it. It's pretty handy when you're trying to get to certain. It's almost like choosing between layers on like Photoshop or something. Okay, so I don't want the shoreline to be all teal here at all. So. I'm gonna go back to making it purple for now. Make it something. Get rid of that shadow. Turn it off. Maybe I'll draw it right here. Fill. My calculations are correct. Should work. I could just teleport, but... Huh. Did I use the wrong color? It's purple again. How did that happen? Oh, I see. Turn off the priority colors here. Okay, it's not being filled in there now. Do want there. I want the priority there. Wow, it's not liking that at all. I think I really... There needs to come back on. Oh, there's still this line here. Why is that? That fill there. Disabled. We're at the quick test. Best of luck with the reflection. Wish you could stay, but I gotta go to work. Well, have a good day at work, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Ego is not covered. Oh, but that's the other thing. It kind of appears above the shoreline, and I've got to change that. But as soon as he steps on top of it, he's in front of it now. So here, I got to stop drawing it, which I can do in the script easily enough. Off blue, stop drawing. Does it go right to the edge? Yeah. Okay. Script, water reflection, okay. Need if water region. He goes on control color green. Blah, blah. But I want black. We want ankle water. We want gram reflect. Display. Well, instead of initting it, we don't need to init it here. We can init it if over here. Okay. Well, I'll init it, but I wonder if I can do initialize, or if I should do hide or show. If I initialize and dispose, it's adding it and removing it from memory. If I hide it and show it, it's kept in memory, it's just not drawing it. So it depends on if I want to save memory or not, which I don't think is that big a deal. Yeah, I'll just hide it. And then if he's not on a control color black, show. else reflect hide. What does that do? Good. So it stops drawing it until it gets back on the water. Back on a control color. The only problem here now is if I get on land, this is a black control color, and he stops being drawn, which I'll have to fix. Thing here. I'm starting to be drawn behind these now. So all kinds of stuff gotta watch out for here. So this is good. It's just all priority colors now that I have to concern myself with. Off the control color anyway, so it doesn't matter at that point. Air is really noisy. Can make it brown. Yeah, it's almost like I have to draw each band so ego doesn't get drawn behind anything. But the reflection does. Tricky. Can't be purple. Purple's not going to do anything. Except for the main objects, and deal with the rest later. Wrapping my brain around this. Just stop drawing it all together. No priorities. Turn it off. Tree, and that tree, but not that tree. No, not at all. Nothing. It's fine. It's fine. already disabled. Can't wrap my brain around it right now. Something's getting screwed up there. Okay. All right. This land should be green. Lime green. Right? The line from the tree should be green all the way up to here. And then it should be blue. Wish I could kind of paste the, what happens if I do this? There we go. So now I have a bit of an overlay. It's copied and pasted. E. Colors. On the priority and see the actual image. So let me just get rid of that though. Okay, I need... terrible if I just did this. Okay. All right, what does that look like? Drawn in front of the shore. That part shouldn't be green then, it should be teal? No, because then Ego won't be drawn on top of it. Tricky. If I make this part much easier to use. So when I draw in the shore water here, green. So then, so we need that actual shoreline. Certain color. Much easier to match the draw commands. Let's make it Okay, we're number 2 right now. 3 would be the one in front of it. Eagle would be drawn behind it too. It's the grass line. I don't know how to do it without... Because if... Okay, I could set it to teal and the reflection wouldn't be drawn past this line, but then neither would Eagle. Problem. So what if I set it to green and then set the priority of the reflection 1 less to blue when it's here? Definitely be drawn behind the green and Eagle wouldn't. Just I was just thinking of making it all green. Gotta be different. Because it's different based on the ground than the water. I don't want the reflection to be drawn behind the tree if I'm in front of the tree. I'm thinking about this. Alright, what if I make it set the priority higher instead of lower? Set the reflection's priority to be equal priority plus 1. reflection anyway to be teal. The ground would be, or maybe even red, and the ground would be teal. No. Of. That means things will be drawn in front of the ego. But I only have 2 colors to work with. Can't be drawn behind anything once we get to green, or to blue. That's the farthest behind we get. Reflection blue. Be there. Feels fine. Oh, reflection. Nope. But if we set the priority color to problem is he's not drawn behind the Here he needs to be priority 0. Let me test it in game. Oh, I gotta turn off the code. Or if he's on black, just for now. Whoops. Crash. No drawing at all. Just
So this is the one that hops my
there we go. That's all I need to do. Okay.
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, Great Oracle.
I'll get this right yet. Now he's gonna be drawn behind things that he shouldn't be, but yeah. Yes, okay. That's good. Good. So maybe one behind is the answer. Behind the tree in real life and in the reflection, and he's in front of the tree in the reflection, but also behind the shoreline, which is good. Still getting drawn back here. So I'm gonna need to make everything above that line. Oh, this is so complicated. Everything above this line has got to be blue. Where do I got the horizon line anyway? Right up here. So when he touches purple in the control color, he changes rooms. Maybe I should lower that. I don't really need that there. He's not ever going to be tall enough to... ever going to be tall enough to need that while being behind the tree, so I can get rid of that. Probably the same with these, honestly. Fill in this. I'm not gonna need any of that. working. Okay, there we go. Just need to fill in all that. Not working. Why don't you let me fill in there? Great. Let's back up then. Lines. There. Solved itself. Different color. Now that I think of it, well, up to their green. Might be gimpy. Once I iron this out on this screen, it's going to be a little easier to do it for other screens. See, I can't do a lower blue color than a lower priority color than blue for this tree, and this tree's already blue. That's the problem I'm running into. I'm out of colors. If this were SCI 1, I could move these bands to wherever I needed them to be, but they're all preset on SCI 0. This is why I was thinking maybe just make the boundary right here along this blue line so we can't walk past it instead of being up here. I think I'm gonna do that. I don't think there's any other way. Instead of drawing that line there, but right here. The black line. Wait, I can't walk behind that tree, so I don't have to worry about the reflection problem there. Which also means that that tree doesn't need a reflection in the water now. Bye. This tree, though, needs to have a blue priority. Green. There. Every tree shadow has got to have a different... Except for this one. This one meets it right in the water. I'm just worried about the land between the tree and its reflection. But this one, the trees are right in the water, so I don't need to worry about it. Same with this island. Fine. And this rock. This tree doesn't have a reflection, so it's just these two trees I need to worry about. And that tree, obviously. Which means this tree doesn't even need to walk behind, period, but I'm just going to leave it there anyway. All this can be drawn in blue. Some kind of priority band hacking. Might be more trouble than it's worth, but hey, why not? Why not do it? Yeah. It has the intended effect. Why not just do it? Pull it off. Look. One thing about this is when I come from the north, it's setting my position to 35, which is within the horizon line. So I'm gonna have to change that now. Horizon line is now. So if I go immediately go to the room and then I go back up because I'm within the horizon limit. So that's 38, so I need it to be 39. Compile, rebuild, test. I'm still being sent up. Let's try 40. Still sending me up. Vicky, 41. Alright, something's not right. Previous room number is north, which is 2. X and 41. So, what's the problem? One is... Oh my. I was looking at the wrong coordinate. It's 43. 43. I was looking at X. Stupid. Alright, still doesn't like it, so let's do one more. Let's just go to room 2. Okay. A flicker of me in the water there. Something I'm gonna have to... Good. All this shoreline up here, I'm guaranteed not to walk behind. Not to walk in front of, I mean, reflection-wise. But one thing I have to watch out for, because this is a region script, not specifically tailored to this screen. There are other screens with water in them. So, for example, this one right here. This will have a reflection, and I can go a little further down the screen here than I normally would. This tree is, you milky flesh salmon orange color, light red. And so it goes right down to cyan. There. Until I get to the... Doing this, I might have to do this per room instead of a region. Like I'm ever in the... Oh, I am. I'm in the water in the red here. So this is even further down. I know there's another one down here. This one. Although this one's much higher up. And this one will be a lot easier too. It'll be a lot easier to do. I colored those flowers. Can't ever walk behind them without also walking behind the tree. Stupid room here. I'm doing the most complicated room first. Bunch of walk behinds and reflections and islands. There's an island here, a tree in the water. It's got everything basically. So this is a good screen to start with. Because, hang on, let me go back here one more time. Now walking and see, it shows me the reflections priority color, which is one less than Ego's. This is actually a great visual aid. Reflection of the rock now needs to be one higher. The tree and the island are okay. No, they're not okay. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay. The rock, one other fix on the rock here I gotta do. Fill this all in. Because when I'm down there on this rock, Ego's going to be blue, but reflection's going to be gray. back to the shoreline here, where it was drawn. Kept. Starting there, that's gotta be black. It didn't matter at all. I should just copy those draw commands. That. Fill it in. Yeah, delete. Curious to see if this little experiment is going to work. What happened there? Just do something. Drawn behind that. see those prior. Oh! Well, that didn't happen according to this. Is that command doing it? Okay. So this is behaving differently than how the game interprets it. So I gotta be careful here. I'm thinking it's because I didn't close the side. Technically. Nope. Still messed up. I hope this isn't corrupted. Different, slightly different expected behavior. Oh, that fill line right there is what's doing it. One up to It's interesting that it didn't catch that, but there we go. All right, let's take a look at this priority. Collection's always drawn behind it, but ego is not. And I can do the same thing to this priority line right here along the shoreline. It's very complicated, it's very tedious, but it's gonna work. That was great. Now this needs to be blue. This part of the... Go down here to where that was drawn. Everything in the green has to be blue. Can fix that after. Okay, I need to turn it off there and I'll fix it after. Blue. Can fix this right now. It doesn't have to be. Fill that in right now. Fix it for that. Okay. Let's just go. Straight across. Uh-oh, it's happening again. Leak. The flood fill leak somewhere. Corrupted. And oh, holes right there. I see them. Okay. Yeah, it's taking the black lines that I drew. Oh, you can't do a flood fill past these black lines, but the game says otherwise. The game says, heck yes I can. Difference of behavior there. Okay, so before I do the flood fill, there. Ah. And I gotta fix the... Actually, let's go hunt for that. Might as well. Sure.
Sorry, you don't have enough memory to view the hint book.
Crazy over here. Morning, am I? Still at this, I see. I'm guessing these priority maps can't be exported to Photoshop for easier painting. They can be exported, you can't import them. That's one thing. Companion will import images, but not priority or control maps. Which is fine. So I'm getting a little crazy with this. As you can see, I have to make the reflection one priority less than Ego's, and then make everything that's reflected in the water one less than what would be the walk behind above water, so that Ego will still walk in front of the land, but the reflection won't, because I need the reflection not to be drawn. So I'm going to be doing, like, everywhere there's land, filling in these color priority bands. It's going to be a bit tedious, so... But it's coming along. I think it's working. So here it works here. Ego will always be drawn in front of the land, but the reflection will not. See that? And I gotta do that all the way up. Like there's glitches there. That's interesting. Okay, so I messed up there. This is so tedious. Because I gotta be drawn behind the rocks in the reflection and in front in the reflection. And yikes, yes. Yeah, so what's going on there? Whoops. Okay, I just haven't filled that in yet. If I'm standing on that... reflection's still in front. Does that mean I have to do two less? Or use different priority colors? I guess if Ego's the same color, it's fine. Yeah, that should be green, not blue. Because the reflection will be blue. Ego is green. If Ego's the same color as something on the same plane, he'll be drawn in front of it. For instance, this tree. Tree's green, Graham is green, but Graham is drawn on top last. Okay, so I just gotta change some colors here. So that... the ground has to be blue. Rock can be gray, because he's going to be behind it, but the... Okay, that's where I screwed up. Starting there, it cannot be that, it's got to be blue. But it can't be tied to specific watercolors or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm hacking this enough as it is. I don't... It's not built. It's just not built for that. But I'm gonna pull it off. An SCI 0 game in 2021, or 2022, or whenever this is done, has to do something a little more impressive than Sierra did. Pushing this to its limits, for sure. Priority's got to be 9, not 8. This priority's got to be 10, not 9. But once I figure this out for this screen, and I said earlier, this is the most complicated water reflecting screen with an island and walk behinds on the shore, walk behinds in the water with this tree here. So if I can get this one down, it'll be a cakewalk for all the other screens. It'll be a lot less work once I figure it out. This right here, though, that's a problem. But before I... Okay, let's just... Okay, no, that's the shoreline. Guess that's okay. Definitely worth it. This will probably be the only way I ever replay King's Quest 2. Oh. Well, thank you. Certainly be I don't think I'll ever play King's Quest 2 again after this. I can play this game in my sleep now because I had to figure out where all the points come from and how exactly you're supposed to play. Has ruined King's Quest 2 for me. Play the remake though by AGDI. So now I should be walking in front, behind. Good. Oh, good. That is exactly what I want to see. I'm in front of the rock on the. It's just this shoreline is cutting me off because I haven't copied over the little line draw commands that kind of splashed water further up the shore, up the sand. That's the next step. But that's exactly what I need now. It's coming, it's happening. It's happening. It's exciting when it starts working. And you've started to figure it out. Back to these draw commands, please. All of these draw commands. I need to copy them all. It's inefficient, but it has to be done. From there. Now I did copy some of these already and I probably shouldn't have. Delete them. This. That 93 137. I don't need that line there anymore. Okay, and these. Here's my reflections. My little water. Or down there. I'll have to copy those. Disabling priority, that's why. Think that'll do it. Test. One I never beat until 2000 something, probably why. Yeah. Good. Little difference there. Everything on this side in the bottom right corner. Oh, I'm gonna stop drawing him anyway, right. Well, unless I just color in those bands. I can do that. Where is it that is colored in? part of me feels like this is really silly. Gotta be an easier way, but so I'm actually filling in the bands. And I have to do them one at a time because if Eagle's drawn on top or drawn underneath, that will be bad. So yeah, there's nothing here. That's why. This is a great way. I'm glad this exists in the debug because it's a great way to test priorities. Like, you can see that the reflection is one color less than Ego's. Except for that spot there. I gotta figure out what's going on there. Came back and did more, it looks like. To there. Difference I'm going to make here is these lines right here need to be gray. Just, does that need to be filled in purple? I don't think so. All enough behind that purple line. That's like just enough. Okay, okay. Maybe I'll just fill it in for completion's sake then. Work. On all those lines. But fill commands don't work when you've drawn lines, but I think in game it does. So if I just try that one. Yeah, it did do it. SCI Companion didn't do it, but the game did it, and that's all that matters. That's perfect. Okay, now that's a problem. Island reflection red instead of purple. That's a problem. Reflection of the island. And then this tree's gotta be red. It's coming along a little quicker now because I know what things need to be, and whereas before I was trying to figure it out. That means this also is probably gonna change. Good. Oh, that's such a good feeling to see that working right. Now here, it's a little messed up because I'm walking behind the tree. So the tree's reflection needs to be green, not teal. Very next command, good. Oh, whoops. I went to credits. Alright. Reflection's always drawn in front of the tree, and when I go behind, he's still behind it. Okay. Gotta be drawn behind. Or do I? Maybe not there. Yeah, I can be drawn. It's just for this spot right here. If I'm behind the tree. Thank you for following Elroy21. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying this. Getting pretty close now. It's getting pretty good. Just got to... So when I'm walking up here, I need to be walking behind the land in the reflection. Except when I'm on the land. So, I wish I could see the priority bands in the game, but... Oh, I got the wrong fill in there. Forgot about that. But it's gotta be red, not purple. Okay. Bands here. Yeah, if I'm above there, it can. Okay, let's work from the bottom up. Let's just focus on one thing at a time here. So I gotta finish this area. So this should all be filled in green. Thanks. Looks interesting for sure. Oh, yeah, good. Pushing the Sierra's SCI engine to its limits here, trying to program in water reflections on a screen where you've got a lot of walk behinds, and the reflection can't be drawn on land, but it's got to be drawn in front of and behind things in the reflection as well as in the real world, and it's complicated. I have to fill in all these priority colors, all these priority bands. For anything that is not water. It's kind of opposite of the control map, actually, because the control colors dictate when Graham's sprite has to be, like, look like he's wading into the water. And so everything else should be black but the water. But in the priority, the water should be black, and everything else needs to be filled in. Are you going to expand the response text too? I can't remember how rough 2 is compared to the other SCI games. 3 was getting pretty good for AGI, I remember. Yeah, 3 had some pretty good writing. I definitely will be fleshing it out. King's Quest 1 compared to the remake, compared to the original, is quite fleshed out, text-wise. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm probably going to get a writer to help me. But I want the same type of feel and of being fleshed out. Like, everything looks more detailed, everything's going to be described more detailed too, and be more interesting to read. Whereas King's Quest 2 was just a bunch of really short responses to things. The introduction sequence is going to be fleshed right out. The ending sequence is going to be fleshed out. Maybe there'll be a couple sequences in the game somewhere where there'll be like a scripted sequence where there wouldn't have been in the original. I don't know yet. I'll have to see. Maybe Josh Mandel isn't busy. Actually, I tried emailing him years ago when I first started actively working on this, and just asked him for advice on, because he did King's Quest 1 remake. And I never got a response. He must have been busy then. When it gets close to writing, I might hit him up, see what he says. But I gotta get the base game done first. Green. Draw the rest of the shoreline up to here. It's pretty good, we're almost there. Who is he? Enter resource number 80. Poor guy writing response text to Look at Lake 35 years later. I don't know, he likes writing all that extra stuff. Remember, he was the one who did Freddy Farkas, the original floppy version, designed by developed by him. He wrote so many dialogue responses to combining different items together in the inventory and on everything on the screen, and he had something funny for each and every one of them. And he did the same thing in Space Quest 6 up until the point where he left Sierra in the middle of Space Quest 6, and then everything after that in the game in Space Quest 6, the responses were like very simple and very minimal. And then similarly, when Al Lowe developed the CD version of Freddy Farkas and they had to record a bunch of dialogue lines, he cut out a bunch of all those responses because it'd be so much to record. So I think he enjoys it. I don't know if he enjoys it anymore, but he likes writing for sure. I need to replay Freddy. I remember he did great on Larry Reloaded and Hero U, I guess. Was he on Hero U? I think Josh Mandel was on Hero U. Unless he was. I know he was on space venture in some capacity. Pretty sure. But I didn't know his name was in Here Were You. Yeah, I heard the Coles brought him in for flavor text. Nice! Well, that's good then. He's he definitely is good at that. That's one of his strong suits. He's a great game designer as well. He designed some great games at Sierra. Definitely multi-talented man. Okay. Going back here to where the stuff was drawn. Copy the shoreline here. That needs to be gray. There needs to change to brown. There it needs to be red. Better look. There it should be purple. I don't know. 4. We're already red. Gotta be 5. Back to red. Follows the tree, and I gotta fill in the rest of the shore. That's gotta be green, for sure. That, from this point on, has gotta be teal. Okay, back to the fine stuff I didn't fill in. Need to draw that. And it's got to be purple. disable priority there. When I draw that in, I'll look at that later. As to when I should draw the reflection in front of or behind this selected piece of land, of shore. Is tedious, but fun. Oh boy, I think that's it for the shore. Oh, except for this part right here. And then the little bits. Shoreline reflections, but look at this ridiculousness. Alright, I gotta do the same thing over here. So, just drop down to where that was drawn. Come on. There we go. Starting right there, so that's within the gray, so we need it to be gray. Good. Proceed. So, of the shoreline. Except for that little line there, that should be blue. And I'll fix that. Test time. Bits of pixel drawing. Right here. See right here, he should be drawn behind the reflected land until he's standing on top of it. Same thing here. Well, yeah, when I'm behind the tree. Oh, see, there's flickering there. Tree, he should be behind the shoreline. Maybe until I'm right on top of it. That'll be, might be a little bit tricky. Really shouldn't be pixels peeking out there. What's the story going on there? Oh, I see. There's black holes there. I don't think there's a Sierra screen in a priority map in Sierra's entire history that looked like this. Probably would have pushed floppy disk space limits. And because this tree is blue, and I'm making the reflected sprite one priority band less And the ego, there's nothing less than blue. Once I get under the blue, he turns black, and that's the last one. So once ego turns black to go behind this tree, there's no more priority colors for the reflection color to drop down to, so it's going to be drawn in front of that tree. So I had to set the horizon as soon as that ends. Otherwise, oh, this is, look at this. It's still got to be fixed here. That's just the extra pixels I drew in for the shoreline, and I can just copy those like I did over here. Oh, that's so nice. That took 2 days of work, but it was certainly worth it. And it's not done yet either. I've got to, I got to make alternate reflection sprites for when Graham is knee-deep in water, ankle-deep in water, in other scenes when he's straight up swimming. If I want to do that for inland lakes, probably do. Of course I do. Yeah, I'm kind of amazed that worked, filling those in. I've only done a bit of priority map stuff in AGS before. It would have been a lot easier in AGS, or even SCI 1, because as I said earlier, you can move the priority lines around. In this one, you have to draw everything to match up with those lines. You have to be conscious of how you draw foreground objects and walk behinds. So, yeah, this is great. I'm on the island, I'm in front of reflection, and then I'm behind the reflection. That was the key, making the reflection one priority band less, color less than the ego. In front of the rock, behind the rock. Okay, I'm just gonna copy over those last few draw commands. Yeah, in AGS you can set, I think, as many colors as you need? Or is it limited to 16 as well in the priority map in AGS? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I fiddled with AGS. But you can set them for whatever position you want on the screen. Whereas, you know, this is limited to 16 colors. Interestingly, SCI 1, which is VGA, is also limited to 16 color priority bands. You can move them around, but you only have 16 to work with, which is probably memory limitation stuff. AGS, we don't have that problem though, so. But it works. Okay. So let's copy in those extra water pixel draw commands. From there. Copied a lot of this already. In fact, I can leave out bottom part. A lot of redundant draw commands in here. Uh-oh, it screwed up the... part. And that's why it screwed up here too, I bet you. Oh, I can color those in, but like, okay, right here. See there? Or that. Oh, it does. That's part of it, yeah. Leave it. That should be reflected. Still seems simpler than how they did it in the King's Quest 1 remake. Can't remember, I think it's unlimited, but maybe not. This seems simpler than how they did it in the King's Quest 1 remake. Yeah. Sierra's King's Quest 1 remake, you mean? Yeah, they did not even bother with reflections in the lake at all. You could see it's just an open priority. They did not even bother. But I'm using the same trick they did for wading water. You got a purple color there. I wonder what that's for. They reflect the world, but the only place they use reflected sprites was right here. See how they filled it all in green? They could do that because green is a color way up here, and Eagle's never going to be up there, so it's always going to be drawn behind it. But the walk behind, the reflected sprite is less than green, obviously. I think they set it to 1. Green is 2, blue is 1, and so it's drawn behind everything that's green and purple in this case. So that's how they did it, because Graham is restricted to this little plane right here. Can't walk very far outside this black, right? But me, you can walk all over this screen, so it's a lot different. I thought you were looking at the moat code, and it was something ridiculous. Oh, yeah, the moat code, I did reference it for, it's a region script. I can't remember which one it was. Moat region right here. This is how they did it. Monster, the sea monster stuff. Ego reflect. Goat reflect. The goat even has a reflection if you choose to take the goat here, which nobody would probably ever do. But the goat has a reflection because Graham might take him there. There it is, but it's all, the script is all, falls back to assembly because it couldn't decompile it. So I had to guess and do it myself. I think it's pretty much how it did it anyway, judging by some of the, like this is a flag. It's checking G-Ego's loop flag, and it's probably copying it. It's checking its cell, it's checking its X, it's checking its Y, and that's basically what I did. I check Ego's X, Ego's Y, the priority, the cell, the loop, and then the view. So. Gist of it. I have to bring the goat to the moat one day. Bring the goat to the moat. I don't know if I'm gonna hide the reflection after all. This might be just fine, letting it stay on the screen. It's not... Because it's gotta, again, it's gotta work for every screen that has reflected water in it. So I can't set it to stop reflecting at a certain point or not, because every screen is different. And even if Graham is on the black, you know, he needs to be reflected. So that won't work. Anyway, I was fixing these up. And after I fix it up, I'll call it a day. I guess there's no followers like that in King's Quest 2. No. Maybe they learned their lesson. Valenice follows you, but it very specifically, explicitly states that Valenice is grateful to you. She will follow you everywhere, except for the stairs. She is deathly afraid of stairs. So that's how they got around it there. She will not follow you through the Tower Realm or Colima or anything. She'll only follow you around. Well, she won't really follow you around. She'll just stay in one spot in that one screen in the top of the tower until you end the game. But oh no, it should. But not so much of it should be green. be. There are still some mistakes here. Yet. This part can be filled in with teal. Okay. Wasteful and inefficient for disk space, but we don't care about that in this day and age. That's okay to leave it, actually. Draw commands. Just make them green instead of black. That's the easiest way to fix this. Good code hack. A little bit making fun of players too, I think. For having problems with stairs in King's Quest 1. Everything else looks messed up here. But I didn't copy Or that I haven't copied yet. Okay. I'll copy it all. Brown on pri- No, it's not. All that as well, but oh, and that's where the shore reflection is going to be too. La la. Is that shore drawn? right here. Okay. What color should that be? Three is red. This, however, color to make this one. Maybe teal. Teal. All right. Oh, I filled in colors over here that should be green. Okay, so that needs to be... This is a very colorful, interesting mess. Now I'm drawn behind it, but see, as soon as I get past a certain point, he just pops in front of it, which is kind of stupid. Maybe I should just make that one always behind. Should be able to see his feet there. Right there, it but if we test, whoops, water part here. Okay, something up there. There, that's a screw up. What's happening? Because the purple line has changed. Priority line has changed outside of... Okay, so all this... And then? Ah, this part of the island should be brown. Up there it should be purple.
So this is the one that haunts my poor fate. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Casima, whatever you can tell me, Great Oracle.
Purple. Right. Another quick test for that. Alright, that's fixed. See the point where he appears in front and behind that island. Well, it's fine. I'm doing this too long, I can't wrap my hand around it anymore. I'm gonna call it quits in a second. Part right there is the only part that's bothering me. It's the same problem here, actually. The brown and the red. And the purple. But overall... Oh, and I just haven't gotten these draw commands yet. Let me do that real quick. I want to get the simple stuff done. I keep going down rabbit holes. Nice, looking good. Thanks. Look at this mess. This is the only way I could get it to function. Making the reflection one priority color less than ego at all times. And then coloring in each of the bands so that the reflection is always drawn behind it, but ego isn't. Which means I also had to cut off the horizon right when the blue priority color ends, because I ran out of priority colors for the reflection to walk behind. Alright. Looking for these draw commands. Right. Right here. Well, I don't think I got those. Turn those red. Delete these. Get rid of that. Okay. Good. One last test. Right there. Black there? There is some black there. Pixel. There we go. Oh, whoa. No. You need to be blue. I know, I'm carrying nothing. I know. Okay. Oh, that's pretty darn good. I'm excited about this. Something Sierra didn't even bother doing, I succeeded in. I still got a little bit to work out there. Now the problem here is it's following Graham's movements exactly when he's on this spot here. The reflection should be going farther away from him. I can do that. I can set control colors here, so if it detects Graham standing here, I can make the reflection a few pixels further down than he is, which I'll do that another time. That's the problem. That's what's wrong with that. Same thing here. If I'm here, the reflection of Graham should be walking up the hill, right? Should be walking up the hill as Graham's walking up the hill, not perfectly replicating his movements. Everything else is fine because he's right next to the water everywhere. Just these shorelines where the shoreline is reflected into the water. I didn't think about that. So even right here, the reflection should go up a bit before going back down. I think I can do that because that's the same thing that Space Quest 3 does on Fleabut. When you're walking over sand dunes and then... Well, King's Quest 5 does it too. You walk over sand dunes, it goes up and then it goes down. You just do the same thing with reflections instead. I can do that. It's not going to be right now though. I'm going to end it. Wow. I've been going for 3 hours. This is the longest stream so far. Because it's tedious work. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining me again. I hope you're finding this interesting or enlightening or something. If it's doing, I hope it's doing something for you. For me, it's helped me get this done, and it's nice to hang out. Do you think the ripples in the water should be in front of the reflection too? Yeah, I will just draw them straight up in front of everything. Except for Ego, obviously. And since the reflection is one priority color under Ego, that shouldn't be a big deal. Running around doing chores, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, when I animate the ripples, like these blue lines I just drew on the picture, I'm going to remove those and actually... Well, I might leave them. But the little subtle ripples, there's just a few like light blue pixels or white pixels or so. Like they did in King's Quest 1. They just stand in place and animate. I'll set their priority correctly so that it's never underneath the reflection, but always under the Ego. Okay. ESRGAN version win. It's really hard to upscale digital EGI dithered art with ESRGAN. It doesn't know what to do with it. One interesting thing about... I never use it because I don't believe in it. But another thing the pick editor will do in Companion is turn off dithering. Turn off dithering. Show EGA pictures as dither not. See, so this is what ScumVM would make them look like. You can see all these lines in the tree, it just looks like a bunch of squiggly back lines. But when dithered, it looks like texture, and it blends in. Cleans it up, yes, in some ways. One interesting one to see would be the church. Makes the bricks look nice and smooth, like marble or something. I'm counting on that dithering to give it a grungy, jagged brick look, you know? That just totally removes it. And these tree leaves are from King's Quest 1, I think. I copied them over. Look at the green squiggly lines. So it's not just my art, it's Sierra's as well. With the dithering, it looks like, you know, you get the idea. What about the bridge? Where's the bridge? kind of looks neat, but all these squiggly lines over the rock face. Rope has no texture to it, it's just a solid color because I used dithered brown and yellow. And it kind of makes it look like entwined rope, right? So that's the downsides of undithering. Well, that's that. Anyway, I'll go. I'm gonna get out of here. Dithering looks amazing. Is the dithering automated then? Yeah, the dithering is not automated. You can control it. So like every color, there's 16 colors in a picture, but if you go in here, it's a large palette of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5s are 40 colors. And you can make each one a specific dithered color, which you would set by defined palette here. So you select one, then you choose what your A and B colors are. And you can do that for each palette. It's all messed up. Yeah. That's how that works. Drawn without dithering, and then the engine does it. This is where ScumVM is a little misleading. They say yes. ScumVM says it doesn't understand dithering, and that's technically correct. The game just says, okay, it's this indexed color. But the artist drew with these indexed dithered colors. So you have to still respect the dithering. This is what the artists were looking at when they designed this. And it may have been a CRT monitor, but even so, scan lines hide dithering in a way that undithering ruins. Can't. 40 colors must have been overwhelming back in '89. Well, it really helps for things like, look, yellow and white really makes this look like nice fine sand. Whereas in AGI it would have been just yellow. Like, just yellow sand. Big difference. It's a softer touch. So it's technically correct. The script, the games just say, okay, we have 40 colors. This draw command is using this color, this draw command is using this color, and it just draws it. It doesn't care. That's how ScumVM can take the dithered colors and change what that displays as. But again, the artist drew with visibly dithered colors. So you have to take that into account. Undithering is not what they saw. Very cool function. I always thought the dithering was done by hand somehow. Oh, yeah, no, it's more like a simulated palette color, for sure, technically. But this is not all done by hand. It's its own color. Which means if you change the palette, let's say I want... Hang on, let me go back to the beginning here. If I wanted the green to be just solid green, I could just change the color and it would look like that. Or with red. For maybe some kind of nighttime view. If I wanted to do nighttime, let's see how that would look. Sky would be dark. So this is how they did, by the way, night and day scenes with Quest for Glory, for instance. Every screen has 4 palettes, and you can swap between them dynamically however you want in the script. I guess those custom changes in gradient are just different palette colors with different dithering levels behind them. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe that was just Mark Ferrari going crazy. Yeah, he did all his dithering by hand. He was a monster, and he was a genius. This was a little more... But see, LucasArts also used bitmap images and not vector images. Sierra's method saves on memory and disk space because it's saving draw commands and not bitmap pixels. That would be darker. Darker. Light gray would be darker. Solid gray. That. Go like that because the sun's gone, right? Something like this would have been how they made the night screens. And for white and... oh, it's right here. Having fun with this now. Yeah. Something like that. To just, and then you could swap between them to get a nighttime view. Anyway. So that's how that worked. Good mood lighting. Oh wow, yeah, it's amazing how easy it is in a way compared to doing it by hand. Yeah, and you have to choose the right colors. But totally doable. And I wonder, there wouldn't be any point to it, I guess, making day and night cycles for King's Quest 2. But I could do it. Just set it to a timer and have it not affect anything in the game at all. Just draw the screens in a different palette at after a certain amount of time has elapsed, and then change it back. In fact, I could do like day, dusk, midnight, and dawn colors, because there's 4 palettes. And then after just a certain amount of time, it just swaps between them. Like I could have every room say, if daytime, I can make a global variable called daytime. If daytime equals this, then draw the picture with this palette. Otherwise, if it's this time, draw it with this palette. And then anywhere I go, it would draw with that same palette. Isn't the Dracula stuff time dependent, or is this the wrong game? No, it's not. The remake it is. I think the only time dependent stuff is in an EGA game would be Quest for Glory 1. I think there's some stuff you gotta do at night then. Or King's Quest 4. Once it turns nighttime, that's when the zombies come out, and it kind of changes how the world reacts around you. And that's when you can do the ghost stuff and everything. But as far as doing stuff at night, no. Dracula's not limited. Because there's no nighttime in King's Quest 2. It just, you have to do it after you've already gotten the second key from high in the mountain. Then you can do the Dracula stuff. You can't even do it before then because the boatman doesn't show up. So it's linear, but it's not tied to a day system. You could easily change it to a day cycle system, and that's what AGDI did with their remake. By the end of the second gem quest, they visibly make it look more dark, and by the time you're back on the ground, it's nighttime. And then the church opens, and that whole sequence goes. And that's really makes it moody for that. Could do the same thing, I might, and just have it not tied to anything. Maybe make random encounters more frequent at nighttime, or certain enemies only appear at night and some only appear in the day. But I can hold off on that stuff until after everything's done, and then it's just a simple code swap, and after I do the color palettes for every screen. But anyway, we are 30 seconds away probably from going 3 hours. Actually, OBS says I've been going 3 hours 9 minutes, but the Twitch whatever says I've been going 2 hours and 59 minutes. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna call it. I gotta eat. I gotta stop looking at EJ pixels for a while. Next week will be So this week was programming week, and it kind of was, but it was mostly a lot of art. It involved a lot of art, so next week would have been art week. I'll probably do something else art-wise, not have nothing to do with Reflections for now. And then the week after that will be Music Week again. So, and again, 9 a.m. Central Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be doing King's Quest 2. I might stream something else, and I probably will because I got a new system. I want to show off the graphics, the ray tracing I can do and stuff, and have fun with my new computer. So I'll probably do that randomly. But yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, King's Quest 2 SCI. Thanks for joining me. It's been a blast. See you next time.